Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609. I'm on my way down to the water spot to get water at the camp host, but I wanted to give you an update on my solar usage because I've been off grid now for a total of about 15 days, including the days that I did it at my home base in Central Texas. And what I have found is this: for those of you that are interested in solar, this will be some helpful information. At least it'll give you some guidelines. I have a 120 amp suitcase portable system from Zamp. Two 60 watt panels that will put out about, in good sunshine, they'll go up to about 8.5 amps per hour, but you can figure on about an average of 5 because you're not going to get perfectly sunny days all the time. I have a 120 amp hour AGM battery that I use to run a Dometic CF18 refrigerator, or you can use it as a freezer. You cannot use it as both at the same time. So when I run the refrigerator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I also charge my cell phone off of the AGM battery. When I go to bed at night, the battery is full because I charge it in the afternoons. and when I wake up in the morning, it'll be between 12.5 and 12.6 volts, which means that the battery level is about 80 to 90% in that range, and that's excellent. So that means I've got a little flexibility in that if I had a really cloudy day, I could go a day or two without having to charge the battery and still be okay. My total watt usage is about 250 to 300 watts per day, but don't worry about, well, you can use that as a guide, but that's a starting point. I also have on the RV, I have a travel trailer, a 2018 Coachman Clipper Cadet 16 footer that has a Group 27 75 amp battery, lead acid or wet, and when I go to bed in the evenings, of course, that battery's full. I charge it to when it needs it, and when I wake up in the morning, it'll be about 12.6 volts, which is it's close to 90%. So that's good too. I use that battery to run the LED lights, the 12 volt water pump, and the Max Air vent fan in the bathroom if I need it. And all of that stuff is very energy efficient. And I also use it to stream Pandora music using my Amazon Echo Dot. And so that works okay. So far what I can say for me, the solar has performed very, very, very well. Right now I'm at Gear Springs in New Mexico, and it's totally dry camping at that BLM or Bureau of Land Management campground. There are no facilities of any kind. They don't even have water there. You have to go to the camp host site to get water, and that's where I'm headed right now. And then from there I'm going to go into Las Cruces and get me some pork ribs. And I'm going to grill me some pork ribs this afternoon. I have a propane grill that I brought with me just to see how it would work out. I've never cooked really before like that when I'm camping. Because I know that sometimes if you're camping in national forests and you're cooking meat, you can attract those predators and enjoy eating meat. And as I have meat on my bones, I don't want to share my meat with anyone. So having said that, if you're going to get you a solar system, now you know approximately what 120 volts will do. 120 watt panel will supply enough power to run a refrigerator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at least a Dometic CF18 for sure. And there's plenty of room to do other things. If you wanted to run some other things like a fan, a 12 volt fan, you could do it. I'm doing that. Or you could run all that. You could run several things and still be in good shape as long as you got better or average or better than average sunlight during the day. That's the whole key. But if you're in an area where you don't get a lot of sunlight, out here in the West in New Mexico, you know, sunlight is in abundance. It's like Arizona. It's a desert. But having said that, but if you're camping, boondocking, dry camping, whatever you're going to plan on doing, then yeah, the 120 watts is adequate for most situations. And then if you go to 200 or 300, well, you know, you can run a lot of stuff. It just depends. But I'm a minimalist in some ways, in that I don't like to have a lot of stuff, because the more stuff you have, the more stuff you have to keep up or worry about. So having said that, guys, I'll keep this going till I get to the camp host. It's not too far, and then I'll shut it down. I'll let you see the scenery here. It is pretty. Those are the Oregon mountains, Organ. And over the mountains going towards Las Cruces, there's a little town named Oregon. And these people must have seen some wildlife or something, because they're freaking going crazy here. How you doing? Maybe they saw a bird for the first time. You never know, man. But of course, I come from an area, my home base is in Central Texas, out in Marble Falls, Llano, Texas area, in the middle of nowhere. And I see a lot of wildlife all the time. I grew up on a farm in South Texas, so I'm used to being around wildlife. You know, deer, coons, coyotes, armadillos, and all kind of stuff. We had cattle, and so it's not all a big surprise to me. But bear in mind, there are millions of people that come out here that have never seen a cow out in the field, other than maybe on TV, and have never been in an area where there was this much wide open space in their entire life. And that's just the way it is. I'm not saying that's bad, it's just the way it is. Different strokes for different folks. I know the camera's shaking a little, not much I can do about it. I've got a towel under it to try to slow it down a little bit. The speed limit on this road is 25. And you couldn't go much faster anyway, because the curves are pretty sharp. The camp host is right up here. That's where you get water. Now, this is potable water, but as far as drinking it, I wouldn't, you know, because what happens, and I've done this for over 25 years, if you get some bad water somewhere, or some water that upsets your system, it takes 3 or 4 days to get over it. You'll just feel run down for 3 or 4 days. So what I stick to there for drinking water, I get filtered water as I go at locations where they have the filtered water available. I don't drink, you know, the bottled water. I buy it by the gallon, because it's cheaper that way. You can get it in Las Cruces by the gallon. You can get 5 gallons for $1. So that's 20 cents a gallon. 20 cents a day. I drink about a gallon a day. That's $6 a month. I don't think that's going to break me, and it will help me avoid getting the stomach cramps that you get if you get bad water, and other things. Okay, and other things. But this is a beautiful area. It is remote. It reminds me of the Big Bend area of Texas and the Alpine Marfa Marathon area of Texas, out far west Texas. Desert, high desert. The elevation here is about, where the campground is, probably 5,700 feet. I think Las Cruces is probably 4,000 feet. In that area, I'm not sure. Close. I keep saying we should be at the camp host here any second. I mean, but you know, when you're going 25 miles an hour, you know, to get to the road from my campsite takes 15 minutes, and it's only, I think 7 miles. Yeah, it takes 30 minutes to get to Las Cruces, but half your time is spent right here on this windy little road. And I'm in no hurry. Hell, I'm retired with nothing to do, and I don't have any direction to go other than somewhere, and my timetable is when I get there. I'm thinking now about where I'm going to go next. Not sure, kind of watching the weather, because it'll warm up quick out here in the desert. You know, April will be probably okay, and maybe part of May in the lower elevation, say around 4,000 feet. But after that, when you start moving into June, you're going to have to be up to 6,000 to 7,000 feet. July, probably 8,000 feet to stay comfortable without an air conditioner. And that's what I look for, because I don't like to have to pull into places that have hookups. And it's not because I can afford it, yeah, because you can find places with hookups for, you know, in state parks for $10 a day. But, you know, I don't really need that. I'm hoping I can get this turn for the water. I usually miss it. They have those little spiky things that if you come in this road going the wrong way, I'm going to get me some water. Here it is over here. They got one spigot for the whole park. Anyway, guys, from the water outlet at Aguirre Springs, this is Rusty 78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything your little heart desires. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of my video. I sure appreciate it if you do. Doesn't cost you a dime. And if you're going to buy something from Amazon anyway, why not? Also, drink plenty of water, 3 or 4 quarts a day out here. I guarantee you is necessary. Also, take deep breaths, you know, breathe in deep, hold it, and then breathe out slowly. That relieves stress, and doing that also lowers your blood pressure, which is really good for you. And then stretch, 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 walk, walk, walk. I did my stretches and my walking this morning already. I feel pretty good. And, you know, then stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside your head and dump a load of trash. You know, it's your head. Keep a guard on it. Anyway, adios, amigos, from Aguirre Springs. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it one day at a time.